good lower spot, and everyone else.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. For what FX is about to do, yeah.
Yeah. For what
Okay.
FX is about to.
Yep. None of these flashes are gonna get him. I wonder if he was seen by the FX guy. He was. Pasha kills him.
Fox really hitting some nice shots here. I mean,
Edic's gonna face Lord any second in that back alley area. Well, what do you call that area? Brown hole? No, what's this one called? The upper inner area.
the brown hole? Yeah, I think we just call it brown hole. This round is really up to
13 health for Taz here. He has to basically just wait and try and kill the diffuser. He can't even try and kill both, I don't think. Which he did try to do, but good positioning by the other player.
Yeah, he should have it.
Yeah, he has it, don't worry.
I have slow volume, so I wasn't sure.
He got on it like as soon as the fast beep started.
Okay. I don't know, were we talking on the stream before about this, but I think that, Fox is actually, like, M5's smartest player. Like, even there you can see he got a pick at upper, and and then he waited with his flashes pinned, and he didn't actually throw them, and he waited till he looked at his teammate's screen and made sure they came into inner before he anti-flashed.
No, we didn't discuss that. Okay, Romshka's position at Ali's being attacked. He doesn't die, actually, even though he was flashed to fuck. He's about to be knifed or something in the back. In fact, he's just bumped into the player from FX. He's on his head now. What the fuck? How is Taz still alive?
I have no idea.
That's one of those rounds where I wish I could see it from their POV so I knew how bland they were. Because Romshka actually bumped into him, then jumped on his head and was like boosted up the ladder. But yeah, bearing in mind the reputation that M5 have is that they're all maniacs, they just buy whenever they want, they all just try and out-aim the other player. I think Fox is easily the smartest player, or he's maybe the player who plays with the most composure and like within his limits.
Yeah.
To the degree that a Moscow 5 player can do that. And so actually I think he kind of maybe holds together like the chaos of the rest of the players. This half's going great so far for Moscow 5.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, FX really can tie it up with just one round and force OT.
They can, but there's only 5 rounds left.
Yeah.
So even though they're still the favourites to win, Moscow 5 is like getting close to a good position here. Especially as FX don't really even know, they haven't really got an answer yet as to what they're going to do. They're still just trying shit. Romshka pushing up to this middle area. Killed as he looks up heaven. Great kill by Neo. Taz smoked Ali just to draw them out, but Dozia rather sits in the smoke so they can't see him right now. Oh, but he killed as he exits.
Oh, Zex, he really needed to get that kill right there.
And they don't actually know where Fox is right now. So there's one kill. Cuban 25 health.
Ooh, that was a super nice shot.
What a kill by Taz.
Yeah, that's what I... Like, they could still potentially bring this into an OT. If M5 just wins this round, FX will have to save one time at least, and they can kind of make sure that, you know, they make the pressure on for...
Okay, they're doing their AWP onto the 5 train rather. 2 players pushed up at the electric box for M5. What's interesting is that none of the M5 players, even though they sometimes go up the ramp, have ever actually pushed all the way up behind.
Yeah.
And yet on a round like this, if they do that, then they'd know immediately that they're not heading inside.
It's kind of weird that Edek is just randomly playing inner this round. I guess maybe Zex had the best spawn for outside.
Okay, here come 2 towards Pop Dog.
Dosi's has got a pretty decent spot.
Dosi's going to have to 180 a bunch of times here. Wrong long range by Romshka, but he gets killed by the guy on the ladder. Okay, 2v1. 46 health for well, it must be very little now. 9 health for Eddie.
I mean, that honestly was just a lot of whiffing from M5. Like, all the shots, if they hit the very first shots like they normally had this half, they would have won this round. And that's game.
Well, that's game.
I mean, M5
Little
had
bit
a nice
anticlimactic.
run out. Yeah. Would have been nice to see it go a little bit longer, but...
Alright, let's see what map. I'm actually hoping it's Inferno next.
Yeah, let me check.
That would be a fun map to watch.
Yeah, it says TBA still, so... I don't exactly know how they're picking maps.
Samface, go on hltv.org and post something in the thread for this game and say that we're doing it on stream.
I did.
Oh, Jacobson reckons we have like 20 viewers. Then again, we're just the talent. There's nothing we can do about that.
Looks like the next map's going to be Nuke.
Okay.
Or at least that's what the server switched to.
I mean, the funny thing is, you would automatically favour FX on that map, but Moscow 5 have a slightly underrated Nuke, and we have seen FX lose twice on Nuke already in Poland over this last couple of days.
Yeah, that's true. FX's T-side have actually been looking really awful at this tournament, so... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if M5 noticed that and wanted to play it. It is a map that M5 can play a little bit more aggressive and to their strengths on. I mean, MTW, statistically, I think in 2011 have had the best Nuke, so... And M5 actually beat them on it the last time they played.
When was that?
I think that was during DreamHack.
Which team are you talking about? MTW?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think they did beat them on that.
I mean, it still ended up losing the best of 3, but... Hopefully this can get started pretty soon.
I mean, that was an overtime game, though. It was, like, pretty close from what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, MTW actually was up, like, 15-10 at one point, and they just lost out all the rounds. Which is kind of depressing, but... So, who do you think this map favors?
I mean, I have to say FX, just they're one of the best T-side Nuke teams ever. Still in the world. I don't know, FX have looked in those 2 games we saw them lose. Like, normally you can accept them going down early, because they usually, like, fight back, and they usually, like, usually the later it gets in the game, the better they become, because, like, their poise is pretty good, I think, considering they're such an argumentative team. But it's like they've had none at all in their from what we saw in the 2 games on Nuke already. Like, they just fell apart once they were down.
Yeah, it seems like their typical outside pick strats haven't been working the way they used to, and it's really been devastating for them on their T sides. They haven't been. What have they not got more than like 4 rounds on T side on Nuke so far? They seem to just get annihilated every time they try to get around. They like notorious for getting those 10-5 halves that people don't normally see on Nuke.
I mean, the scouting report would say FX is the favourite, but M5 seem to be pretty on in terms of their aim, so I'd say this is actually a fairly even map. And plus, FX are notorious for winning the first map and then dropping the second map and forcing it to go to a third map when they could have won some of the series in 2, but they just can't maintain that focus.
Yeah, and I mean, if
they even say it themselves.
Yeah, I've actually seen that in interviews. I think something that's kind of interesting is the third map's actually Dust 2, which FX usually has a really good Dust 2, but
it's good.
But M5's Dust 2 is really random and really aggressive and annoying to play versus, I would think, just by like the random cat pushes that Dosia and the random op picks. Like they'll just randomly jump into B tunnels, on CT side and pick that guy that's holding outside with an op. They don't really play standard at all. They just kind of run around. So I don't know if FX really wants to go to that third map. I don't know if it would actually benefit them. I think it would benefit them a lot more to do. Obviously they want to win the second map, but I don't think going to Dust 2 is in their best interest. I think M5 might have a little bit of an edge over there. Just because they're the masters of Team Chaos.
What's funny is that I know M5 is actually one of the teams that FX really don't like to play because they feel like they are this team who do. I won't say random because it's not really random. It's more like they do things that are unexpected, perhaps even to themselves at times, and they just take risks and they're willing to. They're willing to take a lot of coin flips. Like they'll take a fight if they're only a 60-40 favorite to win that one-on-one fight. Whereas some other teams would wait for a scenario where they think they have a higher chance and play it more safe. But the thing is, when you take a lot of those chances and your aim is on, you can really fuck with another team's head because it seems like it seems like the game's broken in your favor. Like you can just do whatever you want and you're getting the kills everywhere in the entries, and it's like it really puts a mental strain on the opponents. And the funny thing is, even though it's a more exaggerated version, I think FX are essentially getting like a dose of their own medicine of what the top European teams used to feel like, top Scandinavian teams rather, used to feel like FX used to do to them, which is like the same thing. Like they were a team that was playing more wild, a bit looser, a bit less rigid tactics that were like practiced to be executed perfectly, more like playing off your own skills and team play at the time.
Yeah, I would agree. M5's biggest strength comes from people not knowing how to counter what they do. If you're used to playing a team with like proper structure, or even a little bit less structure that likes to like walk around like the Fnatic type of strats, it's a lot harder to just jump in a server and play a match on a team you're not comfortable playing. Like if a team is just randomly pushing you and you haven't practiced versus anyone or haven't played matches enough versus a team that does that to you, it can be really like devastating really demoralizing, I should say, when you start losing rounds because you feel like you shouldn't be losing those rounds. You should be killing them when they push you, but you just can't.
Plus, the unknown is actually one of the things that is like the most makes people the most anxious. Even if you're playing like MTW and you know they're going to do an amazing strat against you and it's probably going to work, it's going to be very hard to stop them executing, you still know what they're doing. So even if you can't perform it, you know roughly what the counter to it might be or what you can do to lessen the damage of it. Whereas if teams are just doing shit where you can't even predict it, then it's like sometimes you're not even gaining anything from losing that round because you lose the round and they might not ever do that same thing again. So you can't even go, oh, well, next time I'll do this instead.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.